morning, YouTube family. How you doing today? Alright, we are on the crunch time here because my daughter has swim lessons in a little bit. But I've been needing to sit down and do this video for so long. I was like, today is the day. I'm not pushing it off anymore because I have some thoughts. Yes, it went viral. Yes, I fell for it, and yes, we're going to talk about it. If you want to see me apply the Tir Tir foundation, hear my thoughts, see a wear test that is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, I bought this myself, then make sure you stick around. Make sure you click that subscribe button, join the fam. You really won't regret it. We have a great community here, especially if you love fragrance content, beauty content, and a little bit of lifestyle content sprinkled on top. Click it, and now let's just get going. I definitely fell for the hype. Everybody and their mother was talking about the Tir Tir foundation. Everybody was talking about the Tir Tir foundation. It is available on Amazon. This is a Korean product, and typically I really love Korean skincare, so I was definitely intrigued about a foundation. It is a cushion foundation. It has 40 shades. It's supposed to give you a skin fit coverage with a satin glow. It's supposed to last 72 hours and be weightless on the skin. And then it is supposed to be infused with hibiscus and red propolis, which I think is an extract from honey. Don't quote me on that. To enhance skin elasticity. And it's supposed to have a quick and easy application. The packaging is fine. I don't love it. Full price, I believe this sits at, when it's not on sale, around $30. I picked this up when it was on sale for $15. I could not resist. It was an Amazon Prime deal. I will say I love that the compact has a mirror inside. That is super handy when you are getting ready. It's honestly a really nice quality mirror. It's not one of those cheap, distorting mirrors. It is a good quality. I can see all my pores right now. There's usually a little sponge that comes with it. I have misplaced mine. My apologies. The sponge, I used it many times and it worked fine. Honestly, it wasn't my favorite. It's a very thin applicator. I'll post a picture up here if I can find one, and I didn't love it. It just wasn't my thing. I have used a sponge and a brush and the original applicator. This is what the cushion looks like. I am in the shade 17W French Vanilla. Shade matching online is always a bit of a struggle. No matter how long I've been wearing makeup, it's a struggle. I personally still like to prep my skin when I use this. I'm using my Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer SPF 15, and yes, I did pull out the pump to apply it to my face because it is getting so low I can't pump it out anymore. But this is expensive, so I'm going to use it all up because it is very, very expensive, but it is one of my favorite primers right now, especially if you're like me and you got them large pores going on. Definitely my skin struggles are large pores, fine lines. I don't need to look, 22 anymore, but I definitely don't want to look older than I am. So I want things to kind of sit nicely in my fine lines because I definitely have them. I am an expressionate person. I get lots of lines around the eyes because when I smile, I use my eyes. My forehead is not Botoxed, okay? Products can creep up in those fine lines. I've had drastic weight shifts. Between being pregnant, just struggling with my weight through my whole life, my skin has been through it, and I don't want something that's going to make me look older. I have actually really been liking this Real Technique sponge. It is one side kind of a soft felty, velvety material, and on this other side, it feels like one of their little makeup sponges. I prefer this to the one that came inside the Tir Tir. It's just a little thicker, and I feel like pats out the product a little nicer. I'm going to just squeeze my sponge in, and I will tell you, when you first get this, you will look at the applicator you're using, whether it's the original or one of your choosing, and you will be like, I don't think I'm picking up any product because it never looks like a lot on the sponge, ever. But somehow it covers a decent amount of space across the face. So I'm going to do one side first so we can compare it. I do need to pick up a little more product because I have had this since November. And I do feel like it's getting a little sparse in there. This is definitely a very thin formula that seems to melt right into the skin. And I do feel like my color match is pretty good. I would say not perfect, but pretty darn close to perfect. Probably one of my better shade matches for winter. I really do struggle in the winter because my skin changes so much when we finally warm up out there and I get outside. I do love to be outside in the warm weather, so I always get some color. But I did not pick up a lot of product to do that whole side of my face. This one, I know it says a satin glow. I feel like it leans a little bit more matte in the initial stages and then gets a bit more glowy as you wear it, live in it. I would call this a very soft matte. Okay, so let me make sure you can see me here. Honestly, I do feel like this is very skin-like. It almost doesn't look like I'm wearing something on my face. It kind of looks like I could have just woke up and this is my skin, except for this. That's the dead giveaway. You might be wondering, why did you not just bring it up? Because probably my biggest complaint with this product after using it since November is if I put any under my eye, which I was doing at first, it really creases up on me. It cannot withstand all the squinting I do in the sun, the smiling. Like, I was getting super creasy around my eyes. It definitely was affecting the wear of my concealer. It just does not stay put around my eyes enough. Like, I can't risk it. It was really, really sitting in those fine lines around my eyes. But I do think it is a very pretty, soft matte finish. I have worn this with primer, without primer, and I do feel like because my pores are such a struggle, I mean, I just have very large pores. I personally feel like I need the hourglass underneath to smooth it a little bit more. This doesn't look bad over my pores when I wear it alone at all. It doesn't emphasize my pores, but I want a little more blurring than the foundation can do alone. So I personally do like to put some type of primer underneath, and I do think the hourglass wears really well with this foundation. I get it, the hourglass is really expensive. Don't feel like you have to buy that to wear this. That is just personally what I like to put with the foundation, but it's real pricey. Okay, I always tell people, if you're gonna do hourglass, pick it up when Ulta has a 20% off coupon or when Sephora's doing their BIB sale. Save some money where you can. Again, doesn't look like much on there, but it will cover a decent amount. I've got a blemish down here. We're gonna tap it over. Thankfully it is healing, but it went over very nicely. I can definitely tell that I have to pick up way more now than I did when I first got the product, because I do feel like it is starting to either settle so far down into the cushion I'm having trouble picking it up, or it is starting to dry out, or I'm starting to use it up. I have used this product quite a bit. It was really a daily reach for quite a while. I've been going between this and my Danessa Myricks skin tint, and I definitely feel like I am going through this product. Even though it doesn't take a lot, I'm using it up. I think that's probably my only other real complaint with this product is I feel like it's kind of dried out quickly compared to some of my liquid foundations. And again, I'm not sure if it's actually getting used up or if the cushion is kind of drying out after a couple months, or if all my product is sinking so low in there I'm having trouble getting it out. But I definitely feel like my liquid foundations last longer. After 2 solid months feeling like the product's getting low, I'm like less disappointed because $15 isn't terrible, but it does kind of make me hesitant to repurchase. I'm gonna keep using it and see how long it really does last. Have you picked up the Tir Tir? Do you find yours has dried out a little bit quicker than you expected, or did it last you most of the year? I would seriously love to hear your feedback on that, because it will give me some insight or not if I should repurchase this product, because I do actually really like how it looks on my skin. I've definitely used things that I think are just as nice as this, but for $15, I do really like it. $15 now is actually like pretty affordable in the foundation world, and I don't know if this would be considered a high-end product like you would get at Sephora, or if I'm supposed to look at it like a drugstore. Since I get it on Amazon, I'm not sure, but even $15 now for a drugstore foundation is pretty typical. The drugstore prices are really getting up there. So for 15 bucks, I do think the finish is pretty. I love the coverage. Like, the coverage is really, really nice. Like, my blemish is not 100% covered, but it's toned down enough that I feel like it looks softer, a little more blurred. The skin looks pretty. It's covered my discoloration, but again, I really don't put it up close to the eyes because that was a struggle. I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna let you see me put some products over top.
This one, and that one.
Well, I did do one of them.
You have to do the 3.
Oh, I have to do all 3?
Hey, bye.
Bye.
Okay.
The e.l.f. 16-Hour Wear Camo Concealer in the matte finish is one of my favorites for $5. You really can't beat it. It stays pretty darn well. It's not infallible, but it stays pretty darn well for the $5. I cleaned my makeup brushes last night. Ah, I love it. Love it. Pure 4-in-1. I will say I don't feel like you would have to set this foundation at all. Especially if you don't want to look too dry or too matte, it sets down pretty nicely. It's not tacky. It's picking up maybe ever so slightly when I touch it. I personally am just a powder girl. I love a light dusting of powder everywhere. I just feel like I'm complete, I'm set, I'm gonna last the whole day with a little bit of powder over everything, but definitely not a necessity with this product. Good old Hoola bronzer. This time of year, I definitely need to bring some life into the face. Otherwise, I look real pale and washed out. The grays are coming in hot, y'all. It's happening. I personally love to really carve out my non-existent cheekbones. Bear with me, it's gonna get better in a second. Enhance that jawline a bit. The slightest dusting here. What's going on, honey?
Mommy,
Yes?
I want to set these down here so I can have them in my collection.
Okay.
After
Okay.
so these ones that
It's funny, I used to never nose contour and like now I can't skip it or I just don't look finished. I don't do a crazy nose contour. But I personally do think it finishes the look. I like to go back in with a little pure just to soften my contours. And then I like to kind of clean up here a little bit. See, I told you it would get softer, it would get better. Takes a minute for the whole picture to come together. And because we have to leave for swim lessons in like 2 minutes, I'm gonna do a simple eyebrow today. My NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Gel. She's getting dry, but I'm still using her. Mama's on a budget right now. Definitely my favorite eyebrow product as far as gel goes. Sounds like my daughter is upstairs creating havoc. And then because I am going with a simple face today, which, hold on, I'm not loving my nose contour today, so I'm gonna go in with just I just feel like it still needs a little softening. I don't like a harsh nose contour. I just like to bring some life, some color, a little shape to her. Otherwise, I feel like it gets lost in my face. I'm gonna go in with my Rare Beauty Cheer Blush. It's definitely a glowy blush. Because I did do a little bit of more matte today, I just think this will look really pretty on the cheeks, bring a little life to the face. I won't have to go in with highlighter or anything like that. Even with the highlighter, the pores look pretty darn good. That hourglass really does sit nicely underneath. I'm sure other smoothing primers would too. It does cooperate really nicely with the Tir Tir though. I don't get any peeling, separation, slipping around. The other day I tried starting with my blush at the front here. Oh, that was not the look. I looked just crazy, like the creepy dolls in horror movies that have the bright pink cheeks. It was not a good look. So we'll go back to always starting back here and then bringing the color forward. I'm not gonna put this product on today because I want you to see this without enhancing it in the wear, but I do on a day if I feel like I'm a little too matte between the foundation and the powders. I really like this Power Grip setting spray by e.l.f. It is dewy, and it is quite dewy, so I do a light mist. The mister on this is just perfection. But if you need to bring some life, a little moisture back to your products, this is a really good product. But I will tell you again, when I was bringing that Tir Tir up under the eyes, oh my gosh, my mascara was transferring terribly. I thought it was the mascara. I was like, what in the world? By the end of the day, I had like raccoon eyes. And truly, I think it was the moisture of the Tir Tir reacting with the Lash Princess. I'm still careful about how much of this I put on my lower lash line, but it definitely has not been transferring nearly as badly. I do like this foundation. It was very hyped. It was very hyped. The hype is semi-real. I feel like people were acting like it's groundbreaking. I don't think it's groundbreaking. Like, you could live without it. There are other things out there that would probably wear just as nicely on the skin. If you can get it on big discount, it's not a bad choice. Let's see how it wears. I'm gonna take you through my day. And yeah, I will see you guys after a bit.
You used to work at a piano store? Mm-hmm. Was it that one?
No.
Or so?
It was not. Oh, those are cool tattoos. Oh, I can't see it. Oh, there it is. Cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my face, and it is 8:30 p.m. Maybe a little, actually. Oh, no, it's almost 9. I've had this on since 10 a.m. this morning, and I have not been easy on it at all. I went to my daughter's swim lessons, which is in a very, very humid pool environment. I have lived my life around the house, editing my video. We then went to a little girl's birthday party, which was so fun. We've been there the last 4 hours, had a great time. And I was not easy on this makeup because I ate Taco Bell for lunch and definitely dripped some on my face. And then I had a huge plate of Indian food for dinner tonight and was not graceful when eating that either. So this section has been lived in, okay? And honestly, not bad. I do feel like it's kind of wore off here. I've also been blowing my nose. We're kind of battling a little bit of the sniffles, so definitely a little redness peeking through. But honestly, look, forehead looks pretty darn smooth, not really gathering up in my wrinkles. Looking a little makeup-y where my oils are peeking through. I'm getting glowy here. The pores are showing a little more because of that glow. See, this mascara, it just transfers. I don't think I'm going to do the Lash Princess anymore. Darn it. I love it at the start. But I think this amount of glow is actually pretty. If I was really doing something where I wanted to feel put together this evening, I would have probably touched up this area, maybe powdered a little, definitely worked on the raccoon eyes, but I wasn't trying to impress anybody. This evening, I'm not unhappy with it. I love that my blush stayed on so well. Like, the products just wear over top really well. Is it earth-shattering, groundbreaking? No, not really. I do think this is probably a very liked foundation. I don't think every influencer was hyping it up just because they were getting paid to talk about it. I do think it is a good product. And this is what we're dealing with after an all-day wear. Not unhappy with it. Alright guys, that is all. And as always, please try to stay positive because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Mwah. Bye-bye.